This episode of the Citation Needed podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Hey, it's Bobby Bones with some exciting news. Open booking is here for the Top Shelf Country Cruise, setting sail February 2026 aboard the luxurious Celebrity Reflection. Spots are filling up fast, so book your stateroom today or sign up to become a lineup insider to receive the final lineup 48 hours prior to the public. Don't miss your chance to make February 2026 unforgettable. Visit TopShelfCountryCruise.com. That's TopShelfCountryCruise.com.
Okay, everyone here?
Yep. Well, I mean, there's 5 of us.
Hush now, Heath.
Oh,
Heath.
okay.
All right. So, as you gentlemen know, it's our goal to make Citation Needed the #1 podcast in the world.
Definitely.
Can't think about something else.
Obviously, we've got a plan.
Yeah, we're going to ask people to share the show and rate us on iTunes.
Hey, seriously, come on, rude. Noah has the speaking season.
Okay. No, I still don't think that's a good idea to have speaking. Okay.
So, thank you, guys. So, what better way to find out the secrets to success than to bug the offices of the top podcast in the nation? Eli, are they online?
Oh, they're all set.
All right. And you planted all the secret cameras?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's see what the secret to success is.
Eli, did you plant all the cameras in bathrooms?
Yes.
I'm back in.
No, this is terrible. Eli, why would you do this?
You know what they say? Watch a man poop, you know everything about him.
No, nobody says that.
I say that.
Nobody
I
says
say
that.
He does say that like a lot.
Okay, well, this is a total bust.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, all right, look, backup plan. We just ask people to share the show and write us a review on iTunes.
Tom, you are a fucking genius.
I quit the show.
Really, Tom, great idea.
I quit the show.
I mean, Heath, we still have the cameras.
Back in.
Hello, and welcome to Citation Needed, the podcast where we choose a subject, read a single article about it on Wikipedia, and pretend we are experts. Because this is the internet, and that's how it works now. My name is Tom, and I am one of the best of, the sexiest of, the 5 voices you're going to hear this half hour. First, let me introduce the guys that make all the rest of us sound good. Cecil and Noah.
He actually just insulted my dead mother, but the people at home think he's being nice to me thanks to the magic of editing.
Yeah. Also, my penis is above average sized for the same reason.
Because of mine.
We appreciate you taking one for the team there, Eli.
Yeah.
It's a bell curve.
Statistically average if you include Asia. Southeast Asia. And pausing a feud about a pair of pants or shorts or funderwear. Welcome, Eli and Heath.
Well, okay, not so much a pause. It's more like I have the shorts, I have the pants, and I won.
I mean, I'm going to kill your dad with your car when I steal it. So, I would call it more of a pause.
Great. Well, the joke's on you because they're both broken and well insured. So.
I know you're all chomping at the bit to find out what it is we'll be dissecting this show. But before we do, we have to give a huge thanks to the wonderful people who funded this show. We're thrilled that people like this show enough to sponsor it and keep it going. And of course, if you'd like to join the ranks of people who donate to this podcast, be sure to listen to the end to learn how you can help us reach our goal of taking this show on the road. A road which is hopefully less traveled if Eli is driving on it. Eli, what Wikipedia article will we be reading and discussing today?
Today, we're going to talk about a very interesting and unique time in U.S. history. The Watergate scandal.
Why would you pick this article, Eli?
No reason at all. Just a perfectly unique time that I thought was interesting. And Heath, next week I'm choosing car theft and manslaughter for you. So, no big deal. Just start reading up.
Yeah, pretty sure announced manslaughter is called Murder 1. Go ahead and read up on that.
Cecil, you read the Wikipedia article. Are you ready to tell us about that great American hero, Richard Nixon, and his merry band of knuckleheads?
I am happy to. The Watergate scandal actually has come to reference several illegal activities by the Nixon administration. So it's much more than just the breaking in and wiretapping of DNC headquarters. So to give you the full scope and to put this into a bit of context, let me rewind a bit and give some backstory on Richard Nixon.
No, I know this. What happened was someone whispered the word jowls 3 times into a mirror at midnight. Jowls, jowls, jowls. No,
Don't say it
Don't
again.
do it.
Jesus, we just got rid of this guy.
Doesn't Richard Nixon look like the fucking pig head in Lord of the Flies? Amazing.
Looks like Jimmy Carr got poisoned or something like that. Yeah.
He became the 37th president of the United States in 1969. He took office while we were in Vietnam, and there were a few hundred deaths a week from that conflict. During his presidency, there were several leaks of secret privileged information. One of those leaks was called the Pentagon Papers, which detailed involvement in the United States in Vietnam. These were published by the New York Times and the Washington Post. Nixon tried to get them nixed, but the Supreme Court ruled against him.
Nixon be Nixon. I'll show myself.
Some Agnew material.
Please do that.
Agnew.
Please do that.
Spiro Agnew was his
What's the
vice president.
podcast version of the hook that just grabs people? I want that. I want one of those now. The vaudeville hook. All right. So you're saying there were leaks of secret information and the president was pissed about this? Eli, you just picked this article out of the blue?
yeah, Tom. Random button on Wikipedia, actually. Crazy. Let me push it for Heath here. Oh, dad coffins. Crazy. Dad coffins.
Oh, no, that's funny. That's perfect, though. You'll be way ahead for next week because your dad is dead.
Too far, Heath.
Jesus.
Too far. He attacked me for no reason.
Your father is not alive.
No reason he attacked me.
He's also not proud of you.
I was joking around on our fun comedy show where I never...
Gentlemen, let me get back into this.
Not proud of you at
So
all.
Nixon created the secret investigation unit called the Plumbers to try to halt the leaks.
Oh, I get it.
Clever.
I call Mario. I call Mario. Just saying.
No one ever calls Mario.
Like
I don't play video games. I don't know the other ones.
It's not a fighting game. You don't have to call one. You get the character you fucking want.
I don't know how they work.
Just Tom sitting in front of an N64. I call Mario. Yeah, man, it's Mario 64. That's who's in the game. I don't want to play Bowser. You won't. Or Zelda. That's actually the girl. Who's the girl? Mario?
What were you saying about Nixon?
Okay. He creates this secret police force that did private eye work, broke into places. These people came from the FBI. There were Cubans and the CIA. And they worked with another famous name you'll recognize from history, G. Gordon Liddy.
No, just your standard secret police force, right?
Yeah, like Erdogan's.
The book about the dragon.
What? No. Explain the sentences in your head right now. What do you think is happening?
Half-hour show.
Teenager wrote a book about a dragon, and Anthony Stewart Head was in the movie.
I don't feel like history gives Nixon enough credit for his inclusivity on this, though. Like, think about it. He did not have to include Cubans, right? There's no federal regulations on your criminal secret police. And Liddy was a pencil eraser brought to life by an evil disembodied mustache. So, bravo diversity.
So, yeah, I know. A secret police force. It's totally unprecedented. So, Liddy...
Precedented. Takes
Did
president.
you remember when I said Nixon v. Nixon? That was...
And then I said Agnew.
that was good
Unfortunately,
shit.
we
That
all
was
remember.
some funny stuff.
I like this pun direction we're taking our show in.
Dun, 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 dun.
Where's my hook? Where's my hook? The next one that does jazz hands is getting the shit kicked out of him.
Racist.
It's smooth jazz, so it's white. It's good.
Oh,
Yeah.
What do smooth jazz hands look like?
They're very oily. They're
This is
surprisingly
not a visual
oily.
medium, but I'm killing this pantomime.
You do look white like that.
Thank you.
At the end.
So Lydia is actually a really interesting character. He had all these crazy plans to kidnap anti-war protest organizers and then deport them or lure mid-level DNC folks to a houseboat with hookers and tape them.
Wait, I call mid-level DNC worker. Can I get? I'm just saying. Oh no, I've been lured again.
Most of his schemes are rejected, but this break-in was supposedly his idea.
most.
I just want to say Nixon stole my eventual plan for when I want to get rid of Tom. And even though I'm saying it out loud on a recording, I'm still going to bet it works. I just want to throw it out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet it works.
Yeah, right, exactly. I feel like we could just offer to kick in $50 next time he goes to the hooker boat if he'll bring back video, bro.
Hooker boat.
Or at least one of those still shots like you get on the roller coaster as a souvenir. You know, just like 2 thumbs up, big smile, person next to Tom's vomiting. Tom knows what I mean. Tom gets it.
Bunch of scared kids. Totally. Yeah.
Hey.
Eli does not know what I mean. For the record.
So it's rumored that Nixon was a conspiracy theorist, which is good because he was a terrible conspiracy practitioner. He disliked and feuded with the press even before the Watergate scandal, and he thought protesters were being funded by some unknown entity. He also wanted to win the next election by the largest margin of victory ever. And he and Liddy thought to help facilitate that, they would use this private group of plumbers to wiretap the DNC headquarters at the Watergate Hotel.
This all sounds really familiar. Are we sure we didn't pick this for a reason?
Shh, Tom, don't interrupt. Cecil's telling us a totally unique story. And you are stopping him.
That's right, Tom. So Donald Trump, Richard Nixon sends his plumbers to go wiretap phones, and they succeed. I can't give a ton of details here because these 3 paragraphs in this article contain the phrase citation needed 13 times.
That's actually just a plug for this show. I put that in there. Just wanted to say, very proud of that.
The date of the first break-in, the one where they didn't get caught, is May 28th, 1972.
What did they put in there? It's just like a record player inside a giant salt shaker. Does this look bigger than yesterday to you guys? The salt shaker's pretty big.
They got pictures in the Wikipedia article, too. Everything is ginormous. A Discman.
Now with anti-shock technology.
We're old.
Either the devices weren't getting good information or they needed to be repaired. There's 2 different stories on this. So they planned to enter a second time. They entered the building again on the 17th of June, 1972, but they were a little too sloppy. They were caught because they used some tape on the latch, and the security guard saw this, and then they were caught in the act by the police.
Fucking, they were thwarted by fucking tape. The presidential break-in team of CIA cutaways approaches burglary the way I approach home repair. Little duct tape on that plumbing should do the trick, huh, guys? Huh? You can do masonry with it.
So now, if they would have outsourced this properly, we probably wouldn't be talking about the connection that Nixon had to all this. But one of the burglars' names was James McCord Jr., who also happened to be a security advisor for the committee to re-elect the president. The FBI also discovered the name of Howard Hunt, a CIA officer, in 2 of the burglars' address books. Fucking old-timey address books that they had in their hotel rooms at the Watergate Hotel.
Did they look under B for burglar? What did they run around the Watergate going robble robble the whole time?
Gentlemen, take my driver's license with you just in case you forget who hired you. There you go, fellas. A copy for each.
And take little Jimmy. He's never been to a felony before.
Just baby Jeffrey Lord. I see no connection. This president can do whatever.
So it gets worse than that, actually. On September 29th, 1972, the press reported that Attorney General John Mitchell used a secret fund to gather intelligence against the Democrats for the Republicans. And on October 10th, the press linked this Watergate break-in to political spying and sabotage by the Nixon administration. Despite some super horrible shit coming to light just before the election, Nixon went on to win the presidency with the third largest electoral college win in history, 520-17.
Jesus. He has, by the way, equal claim to the largest electoral victory after Reagan as Trump does. That statement is true.
That electoral college, man. Awesome. Love that thing. Just keep it around.
You literally live in the only city in the world where it makes sense to dislike the electoral college.
Fun fact, I live in the only city in the world that matters.
You live in the city of California? That's amazing. So there was, as you can imagine, a lot of media coverage of this. And the New York Times and the Washington Post published a lot of stories on it. Several popular reporters got their break on the Watergate story. Bob Woodward and Leslie Stahl were the most popular ones. Heath, Leslie Stahl is the Gilf from 60 Minutes. You know the one I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Like Meg Ryan with removable teeth.
You love your age difference.
Fun fact, all teeth are removable with a pair of pliers.
Easily removable teeth, like Meg Ryan with like relatively easier to remove
Meg
teeth.
Ryan with Fix-It, I think is what I meant to say. Yeah.
Never forget it. Because Fix It and Forget It is their slogan. Thanks, everybody.
So these people were essential to finding out about the cover-up. There was an anonymous source I think you're all going to like, someone by the name of Deep Throat.
Never heard of it.
You mean a teeth job. A teeth job.
You mean a uvula punching. That's what you mean. So we didn't find out who.
I'm all the way to the back of her molar. First molar.
What? She still has her baby teeth. What do you want? So we didn't find out who that was until 2005. It turned out to be William Mark Felt Sr., deputy director of the FBI. The White House also tried to get the dirt on some reporters by tapping their phones, and they ran an audit of another. It was suspected to try to intimidate them.
Okay, so what we have so far is a president furious at the media for leaks in his own administration. So he tries to get governmental institutions to break the law. He's also a conspiracy theorist who's obsessed with winning. Next, you're going to say he has a wave of resignations in the cabinet.
I don't want to ruin the surprise. Why don't we take a break, play the theme music, and then we can come back to the thrilling conclusion of things being taped and rich people voting on stuff.
I cannot believe you talked me into this.
Look, if you want to see your shorts again, you'll do this for me.
All right, well, let's just get this over with.
Okay, first, we break into Noah's studio. Tom?
No problem, Eli.
He keeps the door unlocked. Forget it. I'm sure we haven't alerted anyone. It's fine.
Tom, be sure to put a little tape on the latch.
The door is both unlocked and off its hinges. What the fuck is tape gonna do?
Heath, are you running this covert operation or am I? Do you want your shorts back?
Fine. Can we just get out of here and hurry this up?
Yeah. After I plant this listening device, I need the perfect place. Okay, how about there? Tom, let's put it in the wall.
Not an issue.
Now let me place this little baby in the wall and we are out of here. Okay. That's done. Okay, Tom. Make the wall go back together.
What?
Undo.
Oh, you don't understand how this works. No, I break stuff. I never repair stuff. Look, everything is a relationship to me.
Okay. I see this becoming a problem.
What did you even put in there anyway?
A listening device.
No, it's not. It's 2 cardboard toilet paper rolls taped together with a cut-off headphone jack wrapped around it. Is that what this is?
Careful with that. That is delicate equipment.
Guys, what the hell is going on in here? I'm trying to get my 11 minutes of daily sleep. What the fuck did you do to the wall and the door? What are you guys doing in here?
Yeah, so Eli wanted to plant a listening device in your studio.
Oh, such a snitch right away. Just not even a think.
The 5 microphones in here weren't enough for him?
Tom, I need you to bonk. Tom, look at me. Don't look at him. I need you to bonk Noah on the head and knock him out so he won't remember this.
I can hear you.
Eli, I can certainly hit Noah. I cannot, however, guarantee the results will be temporary or reversible or legal.
I will take that chance.
Oh, he's dead now.
Oh, is he?
That's what just happened.
Oof. Christian podcast?
Yeah, man. It's a Christian podcast.
Yeah. The Praying Atheists.
I like it. It's Sunday.
It's the birthday girl.
And we're back. When we last left, we heard about the break-in of DNC headquarters at the Watergate Hotel and how this act of political sabotage was starting to unravel a presidency.
Even Nixon could see it happening at this point, Tom. So he wants to shove someone or several someones under the bus to take the focus off him. So he decides he needs to shed some people to make it look like it was all their idea. So the assistant to the president for domestic affairs, the chief of staff, and the White House counsel all decide, all by themselves and with no prompting, to resign.
I resign from the show?
This says nothing about what you may or may not read about me and a goat tomorrow. It's just he doesn't like podcasts anymore. He doesn't realize it's not video and he's mad.
So before they resign, though, they have meetings with Nixon, and one of them, the White House counsel, thinks Nixon is asking questions all weird. Like he's trying to get people to say things. So he brings this up later at the Senate hearings, and this was actually how they found out Nixon was taping people at the Oval Office, which eventually came to royally bite him in the ass.
So now, say it like, it was all my idea. I don't like to give notes on stage, but let's go 100 on this one, right? Just like really sell it.
I would love to point out that until this year, that paragraph ends with which is why no president would ever be dumb enough to tape conversations in the Oval Office again.
Yeah, lots of new ways to end that sentence now. He's a sentence creator.
Damn it. Make English great again.
So in February of 1973, the Senate voted 77-0 to establish a special investigation of Watergate.
So, Cecil, no, a quick question. Were there 38 and a half states back then? Or did 23 senators just vote pass?
The hearings were shown on TV by splitting time between 3 networks. It's estimated that 85% of Americans with TV sets tuned into at least one portion of the hearings.
Which sounds super impressive until you recall that back then there were only 18 people with TVs and there were literally 3 choices other than off. So if your TV was on any channel, that would come on eventually.
So a White House assistant finally admitted that there were listening devices in the White House recording everything. And this is when the shit really hit the fan for Tricky Dick. They had appointed a special counsel for the Watergate investigation, and that guy subpoenaed the tapes, but Nixon cited executive privilege.
Wait, what?
So that guy, the guy who subpoenaed the tapes' name is Archibald Cox, and he basically was just like, the fuck? And just like you were just a few seconds ago.
Right.
And then the next part is no shit, the plot of every bully movie ever filmed. Nixon tells his attorney general and the assistant attorney general to fire Cox. They look at Nixon and they look at Cox and they say, fight your own battles. Well,
so wait a minute. Had that worked, it would have been a Cox fight. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Nice.
The defense would have been Cox blocking.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's catching. Smooth jazz hands.
Well, they actually both resign here. And eventually they had to get the Kansas City Chiefs water boy to play punter or whatever. And they fired Cox. And this is commonly referred to as the Saturday Night Massacre.
I feel like we already did this episode, guys. 7 shows in, really? We're repeating stuff? I feel like I've heard all this somewhere.
Eli, you know the thing they say about people who ignore history? You hear that?
I do not know.
They vote for Jill Stein. That's the old saying.
That t-shirt is not selling well. So if you'd like, go on our store, get your...
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is.
But firing people in government most times just means that a new person takes the job, and that's what happened here. After the firing of after this firing, there's the infamous "I am not a crook" press conference, and spoiler alert, he's still kind of a crook.
It's like when people tell you that they're not a racist. You know, it's like only a racist would say that, Heath, or whoever it is that I'm theoretically responding to in this non-specific example.
How would you rank the top 5 races then? Whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. Let's take a second. How would you guys rank the top 5 races? Yeah, let's get into this.
Thank you.
The Preakness.
The Preakness.
What I was going to say is I was going to say Drow, half-elf, then dwarf, gnome, human. That's where I would go.
These are all Chinese people I don't know about, right? Like the special, like the part where you're not, it's like not Korea, but
I'm sure in some
also
language,
not China
every
yet.
one of those was a racial slur, though. Yeah. So.
Can I just say what we're all thinking and name white people 5 times? Can we just say white people?
Thank you, Tom. Cecil's a blood traitor and he's making up stuff and not answering correctly.
So they released the transcripts of the tapes with the swears edited out. Nixon is lambasted for being a potty mouth and kind of a boob. He's depicted as disloyal and his staff is a bit incompetent. Heads of Congress start suggesting that he resigns here. The decision to release the actual tapes, not just the redacted text versions, goes all the way to the Supreme Court. They vote 8-0 against Nixon. He has to release them for review. And this is taking place in July of 1974.
Oof, 8-0 is rough. When people were less sure about Dred Scott than you have a problem.
Wait,
Eli, you do know that they got that one wrong, right?
Do I know that, Noah? Do I?
Do you? It's really important.
That was the Supreme Court case where they appointed Judge Dredd and he took a bite out of crime.
To be fair, he did have the defense that he was the law. So it's kind of, when done right, there is no better defense.
So the counsel to the president that I mentioned earlier that resigned during the Night of Long Knives or whatever that was called, that guy's name is John Dean. And on these tapes, John Dean and Nixon have some interesting discussions. It's revealed that Nixon paid the Watergate burglars hush money. And one of the burglars, the security guy for the committee to reelect the president, was blackmailing the Nixon administration.
Yeah. Well, in fairness to Nixon, though, at least he understood what was happening instead of just being like, yay, hooker pee. Like, Moscow's awesome.
A few days after release of the tapes, the Judiciary Committee voted for 3 of the 5 articles of impeachment for Nixon: obstruction of justice, abuse of power, and contempt of Congress. The 2 that didn't pass were tax evasion and the bombing of Cambodia.
Which, to be fair, I'm pretty sure he didn't do by breaking into the DNC headquarters. I don't think they even have that equipment there.
Well, but it's still not legal. I mean, I feel like bombing brown people we're not at war with should have at least been tacked on for the sake of history, right?
Mr. Green Party 2020 over here. Oh, don't bomb brown people we're not at war with. Racist. He was a great president.
Trump's listening. Fine, we'll declare him from now on. Brown people, we're at war with you. Heard? Got it.
Can you declare by implication? Because if so,
Yeah, right.
we're done. We've done that. That's accomplished.
The policing action, so military policing action against brown people so far.
So now there are several closed-door meetings with the Republicans to see if they have enough votes to keep Dick out of trouble. And the conservative estimates have Nixon out on his ear and in custody.
Ah, the good old days.
Right.
On August 5th, 1974, the White House releases a tape that became known as the smoking gun tape. It basically showed that Nixon was a big fat liar pants. It detailed cover-ups, abuse of power by planning to use the CIA to block the FBI. It showed that Nixon knew stuff he claimed he didn't, and he was complicit in the cover-up.
And that is where Trump's got us, y'all. There is no way we're ever going to prove that he ever knew anything at any point. Blameless.
I never said Israel. Never said Israel. You're supposed to not.
Oh, he's epistemological Teflon. Our president is knowledge Teflon.
So Nixon releases a statement accepting the blame for misleading the country. Well, almost accepting the blame, really, because he blamed all of it on a lapse of memory.
I forgot to not break into that hotel.
Totally forgot. There's
Mr. President, you forgot to not have a secret cabal of spies?
there's autocorrect.
It's 1974.
This sun was in my eyes.
We're still taking that one. You're good.
My grandma died again.
Then he says he's going to let the constitutional process take place on what should happen to him. And spoiler alert, this is another lie. The tape was basically the last straw. Nixon's credibility at this point is totally shot. Even Republicans that had been on his side the whole time totally bailed. He knew that he would certainly get impeached. The support he had in Congress was gone after this. And so on August 8th, 1974, Nixon announces his resignation. And the next day, he was the very first presidential quitter in U.S. history.
I feel like a good argument can be made for William Henry Harrison.
Ooh, he invented peanut butter.
Nope.
The elevator.
Also no.
Have there been any presidential quitters?
No, not yet.
Yeah, kind of depends on whether they're listening in archive.
or on what happens this week.
Yeah, right. Before Wednesday.
Let's not do a topical show, we said. These shows will last forever, we said. Everyone will tune in, we said.
So he leaves office, but there's still a chance he can be prosecuted for the crimes. So now the then president, Gerald Ford, decides to pardon him from any crimes he, quote, committed or may have committed or taken part in. Yeah, that's exactly the quote.
Committed.
May have committed.
I want that part.
Yeah,
and also, if it can extend out and may commit. Yeah. if you could give me a blanket pardon for all things past and future.
Yeah, that's the problem though, is that it's basically a letter of marque, but it's only in the past, right?
I need it to go forward.
Yeah, exactly. No, you don't get one of those.
Better.
You don't get yeah. With this get out of jail free card tucked neatly into his oversized jowls, he boarded the helicopter that flew him off to his presidential library.
Imagine wanting to name anything legal or good after this man.
We eventually went with citation needed. Fuck you. Bringing up old shit.
As a result of the Watergate scandal, 69 government officials were charged with crimes and 48 were found guilty. It was basically the red wedding for the Republican Party, and they would not win another presidential election for 4 long years.
Long memory.
Well, Cecil, you read the Wikipedia article on the Watergate scandal, but can you answer a barrage of Watergate-related questions from our panel?
I mean, probably. It's literally nothing at stake. So sure.
Perfect. Yeah. Excellent. Where I excel. I was hoping you'd say that, or we'd have to end the show early. So, Eli, since you two are best friends, why don't you start?
Not best friends.
Thank you, Tom.
We're not best friends.
Thank you, Cecil. Cecil, I know you're upset because only 6 people are listening, but don't lash out. Not in front of Heath. Okay? Don't do that. Here's the question. Which of the following is not an actual quote from the Nixon tapes? Is it A, the Jews are just a very aggressive and abrasive and obnoxious personalities, but they are able people, end quote.
Oh my God.
Compliments him.
It might not be that one.
End on a high note. End on a high note.
B, when Nixon ordered staff members to get Bill Moyer's new show on PBS off the air, quote, it must not appear that you're trying to affect the network's news content. That's what you must do, but you must not appear to be doing that. That would be stupid.
As stupid as taping me saying this would be. Very, very stupid.
C, I don't want any Jew at that dinner who didn't support us in the campaign. Is that clear? No Jew who did not support us.
Okay, well, that's partially pro-Jew, the ones that supported.
D, the Irish can't drink.
What?
What you always have to remember with the Irish is they get mean. Virtually every Irish I've known gets mean when he drinks.
Fuck you! Are you fucking kidding me?
Fight that asshole right now.
Or is it E? Sweet Jesus, all those quotes are real. All of them. They're all real.
Might be a trick. I kind of like C a lot. So, I'm going to go with E. I think it's E.
You are
C is one of
correct.
my house rules. I'm just saying.
All right, I got one for you. Which of the following is my favorite Richard Nixon porn movie? Is it A, The Best Little Mill House in Texas? Is it B, Cock Outlines with Tricky Dick Tracy? I'm gonna let that one sink in. Cock Outlines, Tracy. Anyway, C, I Am Not a Cuck. That's great. Or he gets involved. It's exciting. You want Dick Nixon in. You want Dick Nixon's dick in, so you don't want him just standing on the side. He's not a cuck. I kind of hinted at it just now. I like that one a lot. And, or finally, D, Jowl play, 2 squirrels, 1 cup. Which is my favorite porn movie about Richard Nixon.
I'm torn between C and D, but it's got to be C. It's got to be C.
Yeah, I gave it away.
You did. You did.
Trying to pretend it was a double bluff. It wasn't. You got it.
You were really pushing that cuckold shit. I get it.
All right, Cecil. Which of the following is not an example of deflection tactics Nixon employed to get out of trouble for being a shithead? A. Sabotaged peace efforts in Asia to try to prolong conflict and draw attention away from his misdeeds and incompetencies.
Jesus.
B. Focusing his attention more on whether people liked him personally rather than the substantive and often terrifying issues of the day. C. Publicly planned and coordinated his devastatingly effective Heads Up campaign of $29.99. Futurama deep cut. D.
Those Futurama fans. That Futurama fan is like...
It's a shout out. You know who you are. D. Publicly undermine the credibility of the media itself, claiming that they do not represent the American people and so he does not have to answer to them. Or E. Sorry, man. I know this is supposed to be funny, but I'm scared. I'm so scared. Won't somebody please hold me?
Oh. Eli will hold you.
Because we're best friends, and that's what best friends do.
All right, so I've got one last question for you, Cecil. See if I can stump you here.
All right.
Despite all of the investigations, confessions, and court proceedings, to this day, there's broad disagreement about the actual purpose of the break-in itself. But just because nobody knows the answer doesn't mean that can't be my question. So, Cecil, what was the actual purpose of the break-in itself? No multiple choice. I'm kidding. There's multiple choice. A. They were hoping to hear which pizza places had the best underage hookers. That's topical.
If you don't pay them, are they still hookers? I don't know that.
God.
I want to answer that question, but Andrew's told me I'm not allowed to. So, B, it's the next one up after the successful completion of the air and earth gates. Fucking duh. How the hell else is he going to unlock the tower? Was it C, they were reacting to rumors the Democrats had perfected jowl reduction therapy? Or was it D, the realization that the English language needed a suffix that meant scandal?
Oh, God, it's fucking D. God
It
damn it.
is.
But it's not the Watergate gate. It doesn't even make sense.
It's like people saying, like, calling everything an alcoholic as though fucking alcoholics were addicted to alk. Fuck off. It makes no goddamn sense.
All right. Well, since Cecil was not stumped, he gets to host next week, and he is our winner. So you get to pick someone on the panel to read a page from Wikipedia and become an expert.
Well, I'm going to pick the person who I'm least friends with. Eli, you're it.
Cecil, I know you're upset. I know Noah got your hopes up about the jowl reduction therapy thing. But don't lash out. Not in front of Heath. He's here.
It's called a beard, Eli. You might be able to grow one day.
That's not your face?
It's hobo hair.
Yeah.
And of course, also included in your victory gift bag is getting to read the answer to last week's Twitter question.
And this week's Twitter winner is Colin Young, or at Spasmodier on Twitter. He said, Andrew Jackson would totally fight Eli Bosnick for drinking a glass of milk in front of his wife.
And also included is getting to read this week's Twitter question.
Okay, so this week's Twitter question is, the impeachment has come down and the famous Trump tapes are finally released. What's the quote we're least likely to hear? And if you'd like to play along, just retweet the episode or share it on Facebook with your answer, and you could be next week's winner.
I'm going to answer right now. I give consent is my answer.
So you have to beat Heath.
All right, well, for Cecil, Eli, Heath, and Noah, I'm Tom. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We'll be back next week, and by then, Eli will be an expert on something else. If you'd like to hear more from us between now and then, you can hear Noah, Heath, and Eli on The Scathing Atheist, God Awful Movies, and The Skeptocrat. And you can hear more from Cecil and me on Cognitive Dissonance Podcast. And if you'd like to keep this show going, you can make a per-episode donation at patreon.com/citationpod. You can also head over to citationpod.com to get in touch with us through social media or check out the show notes. If you want to help the show out, please rate us on your favorite podcast provider and tell all your friends about the show. Now I'm off to Google more about this deep throat, though a shallow but persistent one will also do fine.
I'll send you my bookmarks, Tom.
Please don't.
This episode of the Citation Needed podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely. And parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/getstarted. That's GREENLIGHT.com/getstarted.